What's going on, Bengals fans? Chris Daughtery here with another edition of Bengals Breakdown. We are talking about the Monday Night Football matchup between your Cincinnati Bengals and the Denver Broncos. The Broncos are a 7-point favorite in this ball game, and there's going to be a lot of challenges for the Bengals if they want to bounce back after that Week 3 loss that just, embarrassed this football team. So we're going to break down. We're going to do some keys to victory, some injuries to monitor, and some other stuff for this game as well. Before we get into that, though, if you guys want the Bengals to beat the Broncos, make sure you drop a like on today's video. I got a feeling the Bengals lost last week because we didn't get enough likes on last week's preview video. So help me out. If you want the Bengals to get a dub here in Week 4, get down there and hit that thumbs up icon. Now, a couple injuries to monitor for this Bengals team. Zach Taylor kind of gave us a little bit of rundown during his press conference earlier. He said Taylor-Britt still, as of right now, is going to be questionable with that hamstring injury. They're going to continue to evaluate him as the week goes on, and we'll see probably in the next couple days if he progresses or if he regresses and won't be able to play. Obviously, he was out in that game last week. Shamar Stewart probably going to be doubtful in this game. I would assume it's going to be another, at least week or two for him before you see him out there. Samaje Perine, we'll go ahead and list him as questionable as well with that thumb injury. Noah Fant, he's dealing with a concussion right now. So, how concussions can be. They can be a little bit weird. And Zach Taylor also said Dalton Reisner was going to be, probably be pretty good to go in this game this week. But got some stuff that we'll talk about that offensive guard spot here in just a little bit as well. Over to the Broncos side of things now. Really the only one that you really need to know about is tight end Evan Ingram. He's going to be questionable for this ball game. Now, I did talk to our Broncos host here at Chat Sports, and he kind of told me about Dre Greenlaw, how not having him out there has kind of hindered this Broncos defense a little bit. He's on IR for the next couple of weeks, so don't have to deal with him. But Evan Ingram definitely one that we'll continue to monitor here for those Broncos injuries. All right, so the Bengals are 2-1 right now, and you could probably make an argument that they might be the worst 2-1 football team right now. I think you could probably make the other argument that the Denver Broncos might be the best 1-2 football team right now in the National Football League. Their offense and defense right now kind of middle of the pack, but their defensive line is absolutely insane. It's definitely going to be hard for this Bengals offensive line this week. The 3 games here for the Denver Broncos, they beat the Titans in week 1, 20-12, and they had 2 losses in the previous 2 weeks that were on last-second game losing field goals for the Denver Broncos. They lost to the Colts 29-28, and then they lost to the LA Chargers 23-20. So they're only a couple of plays away from really being 3-0 here in this 2025 season. So, I get it. They're 1-2 right now, but this is a better Denver team than their record really does suggest. So who you got in this matchup? Let me know down at the pinned comment of today's show. It's B and B, so we couldn't really do type B for the Bengals or B for the Broncos. So we're doing Cincinnati and Denver here. So let me know down at the pinned comment of today's video. C for the Cincinnati Bengals or D for the Denver Broncos. All right, so like I said a second ago, I asked our Broncos host, Trace Moustakis, yesterday to give me a couple trends that he's noticed so far in the first 3 weeks of this Broncos season. He gave me like 9 or 10 of them, but I just went with the top 5 that I thought were most notable here. Inconsistent run game for them, especially in the first half of games. When you just look at this Broncos run game, they're averaging over 5 yards per carry right now, but he was kind of telling me that, it really gets going in the second half. So if you can start in the first half and have their run game off slow, continue that trend in the second half. That might be a key for the Bengals if they want to try to win this game this weekend. They're probably the best pass rush right now in the NFL. They are tied for first with the Rams with the most sacks in the National Football League with 12. So, whether it's those edge rushers, those linebackers, or even those interior guys, they are getting to the quarterback right now, and it's going to be a really, really big, ask for this Bengals offensive line to protect Jake Browning and, hopefully get the run game going this week as well. Bo Nix kind of been average this year so far. This Broncos offense, they do take some shots downfield, but a lot of the times, going back to Bo Nix time at Oregon, his air yards per play are not very high. So I would assume they're going to be doing a lot of short stuff. I think he has 5 touchdowns to 3 interceptions or something like that so far this season. So Bo hasn't really taken that step forward that I know a lot of Bronco fans have really hoped for, and hopefully they don't do that against the Bengals this week. Also, this Broncos team, very heavily penalized. I was going back and watching a couple of their games, and right now they're averaging 8 penalties per game, around 72 yards in penalties per game, so that might be something that could help this Bengals team out as well. A lot of those penalties, too, when you look at, the time in which those penalties are called, it's, 3rd and 5, they get a false start, things like that are one of those things that are really hindering this Broncos offense right now. Also, the secondary has kind of been hit or miss for them, led right now by Patrick Surtain, one of the best defensive backs in the National Football League. They only have 1 turnover right now. They only have 1 interception in that secondary. So hopefully the Bengals can go out there and they can take care of the football, because that was, the biggest reason why they lost last week. All right, we'll continue here with our keys to victory in just a second. But we want to give a shout out to our friends and the sponsor of today's show, Omaha Steaks. Use promo code Bengals at checkout to get $35 off when you use promo code Bengals at checkout. From handcrafted steaks to delicious fall favorites, Omaha Steaks delivers the world's best steak experience. Enjoy USDA certified tender steaks, juicy burgers, cozy and convenient comfort meals, plus tailgating favorites like chicken wings, smash burgers, and big deli-style franks. And now, during the Red Hot sales event, you can get 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com. Plus, our listeners here at Bengals Breakdown get an extra $35 off just by using promo code Bengals at checkout. Take a look at, they've got a bunch of different deals that they have, different packages for meat and stuff like that. This is just one of them. The Classic Favorites assortment, only $130 right now. Obviously, got that 51% off on their site right now. You can get a bunch of different types of meats. You can get 4 top sirloins, 4 boneless pork chops, 4 Omaha steak burgers, and a whole lot more stuff as well. Like I said, you can use that promo code Bengals at checkout to get an extra $35 off. Omaha Steaks offers unrivaled quality and variety, and every bite is backed by their 100% guarantee. Right now is the perfect time to stock up with the exceptional handcrafted flavors and convenient Omaha Steaks. Get fired up for fall grilling with Omaha Steaks and visit omahasteaks.com for 50% off site-wide. You just saw one of the bundles that you get, but they have a ton of different types of things on the website there. You can get 50% off at omahasteaks.com during the Red Hot sales event and an extra $35 off just by using promo code Bengals at checkout. One more time for you guys, 50% off site-wide at omahasteaks.com and an extra $35 off just by using promo code Bengals at checkout. You can also go to the website and see more details. All right, let's get to some keys to victory here. Number 1, the Bengals have to be able to protect Jake Browning in this game today, or in this game coming up on Monday Night Football. So far this season, under pressure, Jake Browning has been under pressure 42.9% of his dropbacks. That is absolutely insane. I had to go back and double check that number. When you are dropping back to pass and 42% of the time there is somebody immediately right in your face, that is not a recipe for success. And, going up against this Broncos defense, their pass rush has been absolutely insane from those linebackers, from those edge rushers, from those interior guys as well. So far, this is per PFF, through 3 games, 87 pressures. That is absolutely ridiculous. They lead the league right now with 12 sacks, and just because they're not always, finishing and getting those sacks, they are still getting the quarterback out of the pocket, and they're putting him on the ground, whether he's got the ball in his hand or not. These Broncos defensive players just have been absolutely incredible so far this season. Top it off with Nick Bonito, what he's done, 10 tackles, 3 sacks, 4 tackles for loss. Jonathan Cooper, also 10 tackles, couple of sacks, couple of tackles for loss as well. And even those interior guys, I went back and watched that game versus the Chargers this past weekend. DJ Jones was all over the football field. Same with Zach Allen as well. So it doesn't matter if it's going to be Ted Karras, those guards, those tackles. It's going to be a really, really big ask for this Bengals offensive line that has struggled a lot so far this year to protect Jake Browning. So really hope they're going to be able to do it, but I do have my doubts. And if you guys have your doubts too, that is totally fine. I understand that. What is your confidence level right now in this Bengals offensive line? Scale it for me 1 to 10 down in the comment section right now. I'll be honest with you. It's probably like a 3 for me right now. But let me know what you guys think down in the comment section of today's show. All right, key to victory number 2. Can the defense maybe force some turnovers? I think that would help the offense out a lot. The offense needs all the help that they can get right now. And if you can get some extra possessions in this football game, that will go a long way into possibly winning this game for the Bengals. The Bengals and Broncos both right now are actually tied with 1.3 average turnovers forced per game. So their defenses are kind of, right in that same realm of that. Winning the turnover battle doesn't necessarily guarantee you a win, but damn, it sure does help, especially when your offense is going out there and turning it over like they are right now. The Bengals were outscored last week by the Vikings defense. I never thought I would say this about the Bengals, but they have to rely on their defense right now because the offense has been pretty bad. Even when Joe Burrow was in there against the Browns, they only scored 17 points in that game, and you needed a field goal miss by the Browns late in that game as well to be able to win that one. So I never thought I would say it, but you're going to have to rely on your defense in this game. Key to victory number 3. And honestly, these might not even be keys to victory. They might even just be keys to not getting your ass absolutely whipped in this game this weekend or on Monday Night Football anyways. You got to be able to fix the run game. You just are not going to win football games right now with Jake Browning at quarterback if you can't run the football. And, as much as I like Chase Brown and think he can be one of the best running backs in the National Football League, he just really hasn't been good this season. And it's not all on him. I went back and checked some of the advanced metrics for Chase Brown, and he's actually got more yards after contact this season than he has net yards total. That's pretty crazy. When you are constantly getting the football and immediately getting hit in the backfield, that's really on the offensive line a lot of the times, and we've touched on how bad this offensive line has been both in pass protection and in the run game so far this season. Maybe that means you try Jalen Rivers at that right guard spot ahead of Dalton Risner. Zach Taylor said that spot is kind of open right now. So I would not be surprised at all if Jalen Rivers got some opportunity in this game, early on in this game, at that right guard spot. Maybe that also means you got to try, Taj Brooks and Samaje Perine a little bit more. Get them some more carries in this game this week because right now what you are trying to do is just flat out not working. Maybe switching something up can help this Bengals run game.